guys, Dude here representing Headshot 1 Gaming, and today's topic is going to be the best TV shows, in my opinion, and I'm sure many people may share the same opinions, or many people may have their own. Anyways, let's get on with the video. The gameplay I'm going to be bringing to you guys is Search and Destroy on Nuketown, where I went flawless. It wasn't the best scoring game or anything, but I was using the sniper that I just unlocked, and I think I hit some pretty good shots with it. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it. Before we get onto the shows, I just want to say that these shows are in no particular order of the best one or anything. I may do a top 5 and a top 10 video later for my favorite shows and favorite movies and stuff. But for now, let's begin. The first show that I'm going to be talking about is Prison Break. Prison Break, in my opinion, was one of the best shows I've ever seen. It had a great story. It had a great plot to it. It was intricate. It was well made. It had a good story, good plot. Like I mentioned, it took a good amount of thought. You could tell that the people that wrote that show, they thought about what they were actually gonna do, and I think all 5 seasons were great. It kept you on the edge of your seat. It was just a great show, and this show I highly recommend to people. The next show I'm going to be talking about is a show called Dexter. It's about a serial killer who's actually a part of the Miami FBI, and he's a blood spatter expert. So he goes to murder scenes and stuff, and he looks at blood splatter, and he actually knows exactly how the person got killed. But none of his colleagues know that he's actually a serial killer and stuff. It's a great show. I highly recommend this one as well. I think everyone should check it out. But only check it out if you're over 18. Because it does have some scenes in it that are not suitable for children. The next show I'm going to be talking about is Sons of Anarchy. This I watched about a year ago, and I think this show was amazing. It was really good. It had a great story. Yeah, it was about, like, it kept you, again, this one kept you on the edge of your seat, because at the end of each season it picked up and it left you wanting more at the end of each season, and I think it has a great story. It's got a lot of action in it, and it doesn't get boring at all through the whole show. So this one I highly recommend as well. It's about basically a biker gang who goes through like a bunch of crap within their club and stuff, and yeah, it's a good show. I recommend it. I don't want to spoil too much of these shows, just in case someone hasn't seen them. But again, I will be doing a top 5 and a top 10 of these shows and other topics. That may be my weekly series that I'm gonna start, and we'll see where that goes. So moving on to the next show, Daredevil, Marvel's Daredevil, the one that comes on Netflix. I think that's one of the best superhero shows I've ever seen. It's not like, for example, the reason I haven't included Arrow and Flash into these is because Arrow season 1 and 2 were good, but then it just started going downhill, in my opinion. Like they made it too what's the word? They made it too baby faced, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't as raw and as realistic. Let me put it as Daredevil is. If you've seen Daredevil, you know it's gritty. It's straight to the point. It's got a great action in it, great fight scenes, and it's just one of the best superhero shows I've ever seen. I highly recommend that one. There's only 2 seasons of it so far, and I've seen them both. The next season should be beginning in 2017, Q1 2017. I think they did a great job with the show. In season 2, I like how they introduced the Punisher, and the Punisher's role was epic in season 2 of Daredevil. It was gritty, it was raw, it was just what I wanted to see, just how I expected the Punisher to be, and I highly recommend it. Moving on, another show that I've been watching for the past 2 years or so is Power. I think that's a good show. If you like gangster type shows, and it's got a lot of action in it. It's got a good story to it. It's just a fun show to watch. It keeps you engaged. You know, something's always going on, and I think that's a great show. I don't want to say too much about this show because it's still season 3 still going on. Moving on. The last show I want to discuss today is Ballers with The Rock in it. I think that's a great show as well. That this show's a more light-hearted show. It's funny. It's just got everything in it that you want. Expensive cars, expensive houses. It's just a good show. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. As always, thanks for watching. Peace.